All right, welcome to video 2 in the series. I'm Corey Samuelson. So in the first video, I went over why exercise is the ideal arena in which to train and to strengthen your self-control. Today, I'm going to show you how to define your excellence by creating an operating purpose. You can think of an operating purpose as more of a direction as opposed to a destination. There's not going to come a time in your life where, you just, I'm done with my operating purpose. It may change, but you're ideally always going to have an operating purpose. Your operating purpose helps you align and make consistent the choices that you make in every moment that you have. So when you have a well-defined operating purpose, you can make sure that you are making an excellent choice as opposed to a completely random choice. You'll be able to judge how consistent you are with your original purpose. This simplifies your life, puts a spotlight on what doesn't serve you, and immediately makes you more effective because you know when you reference your operating purpose, am I being consistent in this moment or not? Is this what I am moving toward? Or if I make this decision, am I going to be moving in a different direction than the one that I actually want to move in? With an operating purpose in place, you'll be better able to focus and keep from being too distracted by what's going on in the world, because you will always know very clearly what is a distraction. You'll be able to make decisions based on your actual intentions and plans for yourself. And you won't be as pulled about. I won't say that it's going to be 100% effective because, again, the body does what it does. But you'll be so much more able to deal with even your own emotional tides. You'll be looking at the world not based on whim or just, whatever feels good. You'll be more focused on this is the path that I want to move on. And you'll be much more effective in your choices. And you'll know when you're off the path. And you'll be able to take a higher level of responsibility because it's not just a matter of guesswork anymore. You'll know exactly where you're moving, why you're choosing to move in that direction, and what you need to do to make further progress. The first thing I want to clarify is that what I'm calling an operating purpose is not a life purpose. I'm not asking you to discover your cosmic calling or the reason that you've come into existence. What I'm asking you to do is to consider what you believe is excellent in your own life, who you would like to be if you were the most excellent version of yourself, and the circumstances that you consider would be the most excellent that you could live. And you're going to be looking at this from where you are right now. So what I mean by that is that where you are right now, there's going to be a level of excellence that you believe is possible. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be what some guru believes is possible for you or some coach. It's what do you believe is possible? That's all I'm asking you to consider. So looking at your life, here you are. This is your baseline, we'll say. From here, what do you consider to be excellent? Over time, as you become more excellent, this level will actually be something you're looking back at because you will have increased your skills. You will have increased the systems, the effectiveness of the systems that you're using. But it's ever evolving. This is a virtuous cycle that you are working to create. In my coaching practice, I organize the categories of life into 4 broad categories, which each have 3 subcategories. So the first one is the absolute value of virtue. And I use Stoic terms because my company is called Stoic Strength. And I base a lot of my thinking on Stoic philosophy. But you do not need to be a Stoic philosopher. You don't need to read any Stoicism. The idea of Stoic strength, as I define it, is that Stoic strength is virtuous self-control. And virtue can be defined as excellence. And you don't have to be a Stoic. You can be a follower of any philosophy or religion or none of those and still want to and aspire toward excellence in your own life as a person and in creating the circumstances and the environments that you want to live in. So excellence, I think, is universal. We all want excellence in our own lives. So Stoic strength, the way that I think about it and what I want to help you embrace is operating with excellence in the moment of choice. I also call it virtuous self-control because, again, virtue is excellence and self-control, that is making choices. That is the power that we have in our lives. So when I say that the first category is self-control and excellence, and I'm going to provide a slide here, which we'll just have a look at right now. So self-control and excellence broken down into 3 subcategories: moral, ethical, character, and that's who you are, who you decide to be, who you choose to be. Then we've got brain, mind, thinking, and that is how you use your mental skills, so how you think. And then habits, disciplines, and that's how you organize your behaviors. And in the second slide here, you can see the next 3 categories. And these have useful value. The useful value is a concept from Stoic philosophy, and it basically means that there are things that lie outside your ability to choose. So as I mentioned in the first video, the body does what it does. We can't just choose health. We have to actually do things to create health to the best of our ability. And it takes specific actions to maintain or improve our health. So the first one is physicality and health. Underneath that, I've broken it down into body, health, fitness, which is your physicality, recreation, fun, play, what you do for fun, and hobbies, art, creativity, that's expressing your creativity. Then the next one, relating and reputation, broken down into relationship, romance, sex, that's your intimate relationship or relationships, family, friends, people, that's how you relate to others, and community, society, how you relate to the world at large. And the final one, productivity and wealth. You've got work, career, productivity, how you create value in the world, money, earnings, cash flow. That has to do with your income, which is a result of you creating value. And then the final one, tools, environment, resources. That is dealing with your material possessions. To keep things simple, and because this is an introductory video series, we're just going to focus on body, health, fitness, that subcategory of physicality and health. First thing I want you to do is to consider your current reality with your body, health, fitness, that category of your life. Describe it briefly. What are you experiencing right now? And I'm going to provide an example on another slide here shortly. But just in the beginning, what are you experiencing right now? You can go as detailed as you like, but you don't have to be super detailed here. Just getting a feel for this process. Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being utterly unsatisfactory and 10 being completely excellent, give yourself a rating of your current body, health, fitness as you described it. Just think about that scale, 1 to 10. Whatever pops into your mind, it doesn't have to be scientifically accurate here. So don't give yourself like a 6.158. Just whatever number first pops in your mind. Nice, whole, round numbers. And keep in mind, you don't have to share this with anyone. This is for your development. Next, ask yourself, what would it take for me to experience this part of my life as a 10? And remember, you're looking at it from where you are right now. So what do you believe? And would you think, yeah, this would be excellent? Whatever that is. And write a description of that. So just like you wrote a brief description of your current reality, now I want you to write what that excellence would be for yourself. And here's an example that I have created. A hypothetical person might write, I weigh 209 pounds. I have low energy and I feel embarrassed when I take my shirt off at the beach. The rating, 2 out of 10. So this person is really beating themselves up about this. They're very unhappy. The preferred situation, and this is after they've asked themselves, what would it take to make it a 10? They wrote down, I weigh 185 pounds at less than 10% body fat. My energy levels are high all day and I feel proud of my body at the beach. So this person is ambitious. You might think, wow, that's quite a change, going from 209 to 185 pounds. Now, we haven't set a time frame here, and we'll get into that in future videos. But keep in mind, this is a hypothetical situation, and maybe this is a past Olympic athlete. Maybe their standards are much higher for themselves than they would be if they had not had that past of athleticism. So just to remind you, make your level 10 something that you believe is excellent for yourself. Disregard anyone else's opinions. Remember, as you get more skilled and you actually start to move up toward that level of excellence that you're considering right now, this might be something that you're looking down on again, not down as in negatively, but I mean, you're going to be in a higher position because you will have grown as a person. You will have made leaps and bounds forward. And we're going to get into the time frames that we're going to be looking at here. So this isn't your forever X level of excellence. This is what I would like right today. This is what I would consider excellent for myself today. So take the time right now to do that. Pause the video. You're determining where you are right now, describing that, giving it a rating. You are determining what you would consider excellence as a level 10 and describing that. And then when you're done, come back. This then is your operating purpose for your health and fitness. Now, building that body, that level of 10 excellence for yourself is not merely a matter of choice. As I've mentioned a couple of times now, the body does what it does. So depending on if you set yourself an energy level that you would like to experience, or just like in the example, a certain percentage of body fat, maybe a level or a specific number of pounds of body weight, this requires a process and it's not guaranteed. So whatever it is that you have as your goals or goal for your physical body, or your health and your fitness, whatever that is, that's what you prefer. But having it or not having it doesn't or shouldn't make any difference to the type of person that you are. And that's why the Stoics called these types of goals preferred indifference. Because you can be indifferent to having a certain kind of body as far as your character and as far as the excellence of who you are as a person and the choices that you make. So whether you feel healthy or you feel unhealthy, you can still make excellent choices. That is what is up to you. That's where the absolute value of the choice is important. You can be feeling down in the dumps. You can be feeling sad, and you can still choose to eat healthy. That's the idea behind strengthening your self-control and operating with excellence regardless of the circumstances. So make sure that before you go on to the next video, which is going to be the operating principles, that you have gone through this exercise. It's important that you have something to work with because, like I say, we're moving from the kind of the abstract down to the concrete. And it will help a lot if you have something to work with as opposed to just enjoying the videos and kind of thinking about things. Good luck with that, and I will see you in video 3, which is about operating principles. See you then.